This is A is for Adversity, a podcast about curating your life stories to connect more deeply with others. Some stories may have Christian undertones, and all stories will involve a realization or transformation of some sort. I'm your host, Jen Banks. This is episode T, Tender Mercies with Temple Flakes. In this interview, I focused a lot on gratitude because I knew this episode would be airing on Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy my conversation with Temple Flakes. Remember, Temple Flakes is the sponsor for this month. With the code ADVERSITY, you can receive 20% off your order. This code is only good through November 30th, so hurry. Thank you so much for making time for this.
Yeah.
Happy to do it.
Yes. And nice hoodie. I didn't even know you had
swag.
Here. Yes, swag.
This is, I've got a Cricut, and so I made this for myself, and it took 5 hours to pick out all the little tiny windows and stuff.
Oh my goodness.
I had to go through and individually pick them out. So it's one of a kind.
Yes, for sure. Not going to replicate it. Yeah, that's so cool. Well, perfect for the situation. Great. Well, would you mind introducing yourself to my listeners?
Sure. We're Aaron and Kayleen Barker. We know Jen. I used to be her home teacher back in the day.
I was a young women's leader for a little bit.
Yes.
I've been around her a little bit, but we built Temple Flakes. Not sure what else you want to know. We live in Springville, have 3 little boys. Well, not so little boys. 16, 13, and 7. And they kind of run our lives. Other than Temple Flakes, which runs our lives during the holidays.
There you go. Perfect. Well, how did your business start? What was kind of the vision with that, and when did you start thinking about it?
It was a complete accident, actually. I had gotten a 3D printer just to kind of, I'm a nerd. I build computers and all that kind of stuff. So I got a 3D printer, and I had seen Star Wars snowflakes that somebody else had made. And so I wanted to recreate my own that maybe I could sell to pay for my little hobby that was, I was buying printers and stuff like that. And so I built some system to replicate arms of a flake 6 times. And I needed something to test it with. And prior to Temple Flakes, I took pictures of temples. I had my own temple photography website. And so I just happened to have one of those pictures on my desktop. And so it was just total happenstance. I grabbed that photo, stuck it in there to see how it would repeat, just to make sure an image would repeat 6 times. I'm like, wait a second. Hey, Kayleen, does this look as cool as I think it does? And she's like, whoa, that's awesome.
It was inspiring. It was really cool.
Yes.
It was total accident. And so we're like, well, let's try this. And so I made one and then put it up on Facebook. It's like, anybody else think this is cool? And everybody's like, oh, wow, I want some. Really? And that's how it accidentally began. We had no plans on it whatsoever. Just happened upon it. So, but
yes,
like I said, it's ruled our life ever since.
Yeah, so awesome. Yeah, I think they're gorgeous. Oh, yes, so cool. So how has this business increased your gratitude for the temple?
Well, I think so. The temple for us started back with those, it started with the church, but it had a bigger aspect of our lives back with the photography aspect. We would take family trips just to go take pictures of temples.
Yeah.
So we did one break up to Idaho, one down to Arizona. And so we would plan it to go to a different temple like each day and get a sunrise and a sunset. And so we had all this family time at the temples, all over the place. I'm off taking, it wasn't family time. I was off taking pictures. Kayleen was walking the boys around, but just all this time on the temple grounds, seeking after the temple, trying to be there, trying to hit local temples and stuff like that. So that's where it started. And again, that's the happy accident that one of those pictures happened to be on the screen for me to try. And so now, I mean, you can't do anything in our house without seeing a temple. I mean, there are Temple Flakes littered everywhere. We've got the pictures, we've got Lego sets, all kinds of stuff. So our temple is just our house. Maybe that was a correct way of saying it. Our temple is full of temples. Our home is just full of temples everywhere. And so it's a constant reminder of it, and which is awesome.
Yes.
Very grateful for it.
Yeah.
I keep talking. You should say something.
I think for me, it's a gratitude. Like when we were traveling, we got to see things that and we never wouldn't got to see. Like we went around Easter time, spring break time once, and we were in Arizona, and the Mesa Temple was on our schedule, and they just happened to have their Easter program going on the temple grounds, and it was just one of those mixed blessings that we got to sit there and watch a play about the birth of Jesus Christ and life of Jesus Christ, actually, and plus take pictures, plus have fun as a family, and now it's kind of when new temples are announced, which there's a lot of them, it's the excitement of, okay, when's the rendering going to come out? When can we, because he started making renderings. I mean, once they have the rendering out, he tries to make a temple flake. So there's ones that are not even dedicated or not even broken ground that he has flakes for. And it just, you see how it grows, and how these places far off in the world are getting temples. And it just makes me extremely thankful that right now the church is in a position that they can bless the lives of members throughout the world. And you see it, and we see it every day that temples come through that we're selling from Africa, from Asia, from all the parts of the world, and from Ukraine. Anyway, it's just, for me, that's the big everyday thing that I'm thankful and feel the great hand of Heavenly Father falling upon the world as he blesses the members with temples.
Yes, that's so wonderful. And I love that too, how you have all the temples. So you probably are more familiar with temples than I am, because I don't often, look at world temples as much as I should.
Well, you normally would.
Yeah.
Plenty to look at here.
Yes, there you go, for sure. So are there any unique temple facts you've learned along the way, or probably just have noticed unique structures, I guess, as you've built Temple Flakes?
Yeah, a lot of unique structures. Anchorage was really difficult to do. It's the only one I've run into that's not symmetrical.
Oh, interesting.
There isn't a symmetrical line on it. So I had to just kind of normally I do the spire down to the door if I can. I fought with that one until I was like, all right, I just have to do the spire. So I kind of just zoomed in on the spire, and that was it.
Interesting.
Copenhagen, Denmark is similar. That one's, the spire is out front and to the side. So it's not actually attached to the building. So again, I was like, do I do the building or do I do the spire? Well, everything else is the spire. So those two are just the spire. The building isn't involved.
I'm going to have to go look at them now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's the sister temples like Chicago, Dallas, Taiwan, sort of Portland and Las Vegas. They're all the ones that have the 6 spires around them. There's like 10 or so. And so finding unique aspects of each of those to make them their own. Chicago and Boise I had as one. That was one of the first ones I had done. And so I just like, oh, these are pretty similar. So I'll just make them one, and I called them the same thing. And then I was like, oh wait, Dallas is the same. Oh wait, Taiwan's the same thing. Okay, eventually I had to go back and separate Boise and Chicago. But they're all that same general design. The small temples one is really nice because it's 36 temples in one. Because it's basically the stone and window colors and stuff like that are different, but the design's identical. So when I did that one, I got 36 for one, which is a big win.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. Just haven't really looked for the facts necessarily,
Right.
but just seeing those architectural details, and which is part of the fun and challenge of making the Temple Flakes is I've got 2 colors. I've got whole and not whole, plastic and whole. So how do you take windows and columns and arches and doors and all that and make that into 2 things? And so sometimes I'll make a column be the whole, and sometimes I'll try to outline it a little bit. And so you'll have a window that's a hole, and then there's like, oh wait, there's a colored thing around the window. Oh, how do you separate that? And so getting into those architectural details has been a challenge, but it's fun. I mean, so sometimes it's more whole than not, and those ones look a little bit more snowflakey because they're the on and off of the plastic, and some of them are more solid and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it's definitely been interesting to see all the architectural decisions that they make.
for sure. Yeah, such an art too. It just translates right into beauty. Wow.
One thing we did notice recently is that a lot of the temples now are being built without Moroni's. And so our spires have changed on a lot of the temples because they're just a point. There's the majority of them now do not have a Moroni, which is a unique thing, we think, to President Nelson. It's kind of something that it started with him. And we don't know the whole reasoning why, but it's interesting how over the years you'll see unique styles throughout the decades, and unique things change on the temples, and just like kind of where unique temples are all unique too, and they change with time.
Yeah, there you go. Love it. So, how does gratitude affect different areas of your life?
Aaron was like, I don't know what to say on this one. For me, I am one of those that I like to look for things in my life that I can be thankful for, because otherwise, I don't know. I just seeing the blessings is kind of the only way you really feel the hand of God, and the only way you feel blessed.
Yeah.
So little things to me are the blessings, and I like to try to look for them. I'm not great at it all the time, but I like to think that my vacuum is a great blessing.
Yes.
It's a little thing, but I use it every day, and having it work is a huge blessing. And we have a dog, and so that is something I'm doing every day, is trying to make sure the dog hair does not overtake my house. So, and the children don't overtake my house. But so kind of little things that are just everyday things have to become blessings, or else it becomes a burden. And that's kind of for me how gratitude plays. And going to the temple, obviously the Lord is very good when you're there about pointing out things that you missed and blessings that you didn't see. That's often one of the blessings of, we just recently went, and it's just amazing how much more filled with joy and gratitude you are after you attend the temple.
Yeah.
And I don't know, feel close to family, and feel close to God, and feel close to each other. And
yeah. Yes. No, thank you. That's great. Was there any story or experience relating to gratitude that came to mind when I reached out to you guys? Or
I think, the thing that we both kind of talked about was just the Temple Flakes experience, right? The grateful for the tender mercy of having taken pictures, having one on the desktop, and just that being the one that there's probably 10 that were on the desktop, and I grabbed that one. And to have tender mercies like that can just so significantly affect your life, that one little, if I'd have clicked one image to the left, I'd have checked it, okay, it looks great, and I'd gone on and tried to make my Star Wars thing. But because I picked that one, what an impact it's had on our lives, to allow us that focus on that, to help us with family things and semi-family business. The kids help out with different aspects of it. And so that's one of those unexpected things that we've been really grateful for, the impact that it's had on our lives.
Yeah, I love that you brought in that word tender mercy, because that's so synonymous with gratitude. I feel like it just, and again, a pattern that I've seen throughout this interview is happy accidents, it goes along right with tender mercies, that all those things just fell into place. And it's like you said, you had filled your life with the temple and those temple pictures. So to me, it makes sense that this came about because of that. So it's a good parallel for our life. So what we fill our life with is going to benefit us somehow. So yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you for your time. Just to end, what is one of your favorite inspirational quotes? I always like to ask all my interviewees that question.
So the one I kept coming to my mind, oddly, and it'll be nerdy and goes back to the beginning, is do or do not. There is no try.
There you go. I love
Good old
it.
Yoda, right? I mean, that put your whole self into it, and even if you fail, it's not that you didn't try, it's that you put yourself into it. And so that's the one that kept coming to mind and kind of fit.
Yes, I love it. Yes,
it really does. For me, I have several quotes that I really like. It's kind of, they go through phases. There's ones up on my door that are for the kids, and ones that, just ones I post throughout the house. But the one that I kind of thought I found, and I thought I'd share just because it, anyway, I'll read it. It's by Roald Dahl, who's a children's book writer. And he wrote, "If you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams, and you will always look lovely." And for me, that I like to shine. I like positivity, and it's something sometimes you have to fight for. So that one kind of speaks to me, that smile, if you're never fully dressed without a smile.
Yes,
I kind of like to smile.
Awesome. Well, I love it, and I'm so excited to share this with my listeners. And thank you for giving us a little sneak peek into Temple Flakes.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Jen.
Yeah,
Good
you're
to
welcome.
see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. Okay, have a good rest of your day.
All right, you too.
See ya.
Bye. If you'd like to pitch your story for the podcast, or if you want more storytelling strategies, contact me at jenbanks16@gmail.com, or find me on Instagram at jenbankscoaching.